guys! So hi, we're down to our final part of the first episode for this season of Magwari. So
this is the third episode, our third part rather, of the first episode, and tapos na tayo kay Senator Manny Pacquiao, Labor Leader Caryodi, Senator Ping Lacson, and Mayor Sco Moreno. And now, we're down to former senator.
The last two that we chose to talk about for this episode among the presidential candidates.
At ito ay sila, former Senator Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Vice President Leni Robredo. But before that,
Hi, Leni tayo!
what are your thoughts to BBM and Leni?
Oh my God! Ang hirap naman tanongin. Ang hirap naman sagot eh.
Okay, pagdating na lang sa competence nila.
Hindi, joke lang. They're like, complete opposites. Like, they're the two ends of the spectrum. Isa tama, isa masipag. Isa walang kwenta, isa puno ng kwenta. Oh my God. I swear, ganun sila sa akin.
Yun yung parang pananaw mo, perception
Yes.
mo.
Personally, yun yung sa akin.
So in my opinion naman, parang yung isa is hindi pinaghirapan yung mga bagay na nakuha niya, parang binigay na lang.
Mm-hmm.
And yung isa talaga is makikita mong ginugol talaga yung oras sa paghihirap para lang makamit kung nasaan man siya ngayon. Ganun yung pananaw ko sa both candidate. So, pabahala na lang kayo. Send nyo lang sa 2366.
Sa Comelec.
True. So, ngayon, pag-usapan muna natin ngayon is si Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Also known as BBM. Okay,
Ang tigil ng norte.
for the educational attainment, magtapos siya sa elementary sa Lasal Green Hills, sa high school naman sa Worth School, and sa college naman is nagkaroon siya ng ng special diploma sa Oxford University, Bachelor of Arts.
Yeah, but a 4-year course, it's still not...
Hindi siya equal sa bachelor's program here in the Philippines.
A 4-year course na hinahanap natin, it's still not proven, and it's very questionable if he really took a 4-year degree sa Oxford or in other universities.
At pagdating naman sa net worth niya, ay maabot ng 441 million as of 2013 pa. So, nag-research ako about sa salary niya, parang kani-kanina lang. And wala talaga ako mahanap ng latest. Ewan ko baka hindi na-publicize o hindi talaga nagpasok sa akin. Pero hanggang sa karating, wala talaga akong nakita. So, okay.
Or baka bulag ka, Mars.
Bulag sa katotohanan, hoy! Pagdating sa...
Bulag sa red flags, I guess. Okay.
Background, denies the knowledge of his family's ill-gotten wealth. So, ito yung matagal na issue sa kanila, ang ill-gotten wealth, kung bakit bigla na lang silang boom.
Siguro, everybody's knowledgeable or at least aware naman sa atrocities ng Marcos family, and it's history, and siguro in this episode, let's just talk about yung programs, if there is any na gusto niyang ipatupad or ipinanghawakan niya during this electoral season. So let's skip to that part and yung mga stand niya on controversial issues rather. So let's... Okay, so guys, before we proceed doon, by the way, nakita mo ba yung sige, go, proceed. Nakita mo ba yung recent video niya na tinanong siya ng isang single mother na ano bang plano niya for single moms out there when he gets elected as president? Nakita mo ba yun?
Yeah, it's kinda disappointing kasi paano kung yung single mother's college na yung anak?
Mm-hmm.
So ipapatupad niya rin ba yung daycare? Babalik na ba yung college student sa daycare? Siyempre hindi yun ganon. Tapos
Tapos nagtanong pa siya, ano bang gusto mong gawin?
ano bang gusto mo? Sige, ako po tatakbo president for you. Uy, hindi yung ganun. Dapat talaga may ka. Meron kang dapat may proyekto ka na sa kanila. Tapos ang ito mga pinagtatako, nagbigay siya ng 50 pages portfolio to Prof. Clarita. Bakla wala ka sa thesis defense. Saan naman nang binigay mo yun sa sa mamamayan? Ipakita mo sa mamamayan.
Mayroong discussion lately na parang sinabihan siya na parang attend ka ng class ko ni Prof. Clarita. Tapos sabi niya, sure, I would love to. Parang he took it as a compliment when kapag sabi ng professor na umattend ka sa class, ibig sabihin kulang ka pa sa knowledge or you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, meron pa nga rin sa amin.
Sa SMNI debate yun, by the way.
Yeah. Kasi yun lang naman yung pagkukuha.
Yun lang naman yung niya. Perfect attendance siya doon.
Pero let's go back muna sa political affiliation
Okay.
na since matagal-tagal naman na siya sa politiko. So, noong 1980 to 2009, siya ay kasama sa klusang Bagong Lipunan. Ay noong 2000 to 2021, kasama siya sa Nasyonalista. And as of now, ngayon ay nasa PFP siya. When it comes to naman sa history and politics, pagdating sa executives, noong 1980 to 83, Vice Governor ng Ilocos Norte, 1983 to 86, Governor ng Ilocos Norte, hanggang 1998 to 2007, ganun pa rin, Governor ng Ilocos Norte.
Okay,
Pagdating naman sa legislatives, noong 1992 to 1995, Congressman ng Ilocos Norte 2nd District, 2007 hanggang 2010, Congressman ng Ilocos Norte 2nd District, 2010 to 2016, Senator of the Philippines. I didn't know na senator pala siya.
Yung sa senator actually, tapos parang dyan mayroong isang fake site na, I call it's fake site because na-prove na fake siya.
Okay.
And, parang, they claim na parang over 50 yung na author na napasan, kumbaga over 50 yung bills na napasan ni Bongbong Marcos. When in fact, it's only one, and yun pa yung sangguniang ay postponement ng election ng sangguniang kabataan. Over 50, kasi sa Senate, it doesn't necessarily mean that you author, na when you co-author or when you sponsor or or things like that, na doesn't necessarily mean that it's your bill. Unless it's stated na you're the principal author, ibig sabihin nun, na yung office mo talaga yung gumawa, ikaw talaga yung gumawa. And among that, yung postponement lang yung parang siya yung talagang principal author, and others were just bills that he sponsored or co-authored. So it's not true na yung over 50 na pasa niya, but only one, and the rest were just co-authorship or co-sponsor.
So, masasabi mo, kahit na mayroon siyang credentials pagdating sa executive and legislative, hindi mo masasabi kung maayos ba yung performance niya.
Mm-hmm.
So, nakadepende na lang yun sa constituents niya, sa nasasakupan niya, kung naging productive and efficient ba talaga siya as
may mga napasa rin naman siya, like yung parang pag-change ng status ng isang province to a city, tapos pagpapalit ng isang street, pagpapalit ng pangalan ng isang street, ganong bagay.
Ang laki niya ng bago sa
Yes! Yeah.
Pagdating naman sa platforms and stand on issues. Pagdating sa COVID-19 pandemic, with COVID beyond COVID, program aims to strengthen the country's healthcare system by increasing the salaries of medical workers. Which is lahat naman talaga ng mga tumatakbo is gusto talaga itong may isa itong
Dapat naman kasi talaga.
Totoo. Isipin mo, you're at least, tapos lagi kang exposed sa mga tao, may sakit o probably mga injured. Pero, yung sahod mo is not livable talaga.
It's true.
So, strengthen the Research Institute of Tropical Medicine, RRTM, and the University of the Philippines National Institute of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology. So, dapat lang na may strengthen talaga yung science and technology and mathematics natin dito here in the Philippines. Be self-sufficient vaccine production. Resume face-to-face classes by deploying vaccinated teachers.
Oh, okay.
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 Dapat lang naman talaga pag mag-face-to-face is vaccinated ka. Which is common knowledge na dapat siya. So, economic recovery.
Okay. Modernize existing seaports, airports, and railways to raise the country's import and export capacity and eventually expedite economic recovery. Vaccinate workers under micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, to increase economic activity. So I don't like the first thing na parang imbes na he would focus on strengthening the agriculture, the labor sector, small business. I mean it's good, but it's really just going to vaccinate workers. I guess it's anyway. Parang at least he could have done, or he could have at least given more things he wished to happen for these sectors because yun yung backbone ng country natin. And for us to survive, we need to have our own industry. And at the moment, our agricultural industry, which is supposed to be our primary sector that supports our community, by the way, especially we are greatly influenced by agricultural products such as fish, rice, and other fruits and vegetables, ganon.
Parang kumbaga, why not use the resources that we have?
Let allocate those resources to these sectors so we can have our own industry running and we would not be dependent on exporting and importing. Kasi kapag ganyan, mas matatalo tayo sa other countries na mas malaki ang naiaambag sa ating country.
Okay.
Since they can, they can monopolize the prices of these products and mas lugi tayo kasi one, mahal ang mabibili ng mga taong bayan and two, hindi masusuportahan yung mga farmers and fisher folks natin.
Pagdating naman sa drug war campaign, pursue drug war with same vigor but more focus on prevention, youth education about the ill effect of drugs and improvement of rehabilitation centers. Tingin ko pagdating sa drug war campaign, dapat talaga ma-improve yung rehabilitation centers natin dito. Napaka-unti lang talaga.
They're just picking off where the dirt is missing. No?
Yung mga gaps lang talaga.
Tapos, they're not even trying to, at least Jana, he's not even trying to eliminate what was wrong in the project itself.
Sana nga makita nila itong parang drug war campaign as health crisis. Kasi di ba kasama siya sa mental health illness talaga. Not something as criminal, legal, gano'n.
Tama.
Okay, West Philippine Sea will employ President Duterte's approach to dealing with China by reaching bilateral consensus with a superpower.
So yung magpapaubayan na tayo sa China. Charot. Kasi yun naman yung nangyayari kay Duterte. Right? I spoke back.
Kaya nga parang may mga lumabas sa mga memes na aso.
Our bark.
Tahol ka na ng tahoy. Ganon. Pagdating sa peace talk with communist rebels. No definitive platforms yet on curbing insurgency but lamented senators cut on NTF-ALCAC budget. In 2010, he urged the Royal Administration to resume peace talks with the New People's Army as it stepped up attack during elections.
Of course, he would oppose that because historically, yung family nila yung reason why these rebels, quote-unquote, are there.
Totoo. Kaya naman yung mga rebelde kasi hindi sila satisfied sa way of government na meron tayo. Ganun ba? Tama naman, di ba? Pagdating sa climate change and the environment. In 2016, he urged all levels of government to integrate climate change mitigation. Government infrastructure projects should be designed to mitigate the effects of climate change, he said. All concerned government agencies must improve their capacity to respond to natural calamities. maganda yung point dito, no, na pag sinabi kasi, parang build, parang usually ang nasa isip lang natin is yung mga kalsada. Hindi natin naisip na tayong bansa natin is prone talaga sa mga calamities. Sana man lang yung isa doon sa mga projects or karamihan ng mga projects doon is to prevent yung parang yung pagkalubha ng mga pagkasalanta sa ating mga bagyo.
Tama.
Diba?
It's true.
Para din sa mga barangay, schools, nang sa ganun, ma-lessen yung mga
And
casualties.
sana the next cabinets won't be like the people we have right now. I mean, why would you set up a Dolomite beach in the middle of a heightened pandemic? Those resources could have been tablets, could have been modules for
Tama.
students, or could have been RT-PCR tests for mass, what do you call this? Mass testing. Diba? I mean, common sense. I mean, it's a very misplaced project and very unnecessary.
Sayang yung pera talaga. Na dapat, marami pong pwedeng mapunta.
It could have been mangroves, actually.
Totoo.
I read it somewhere. They could have planted mangroves na lang.
Para sa may mga isda kung bakit.
Yeah.
So,
And it would prevent any effects or consequences of typhoons nga, sabi mo.
pagdating naman sa education, no definitive platforms yet, but he urged the Senate to restore budget cuts in the department overseeing education. In a statement this September, he said that education is a continuing public expenditure that naturally grows proportionately with the burgeoning population. Burgeoning.
Burgeoning population.
So wala pa siyang platforms doon. So more on talk lang siya.
Actually, parang common sense naman yung sinabi niyang statement. I mean, malamang, palaki yung population, hindi palaki yung need for education. And what about it?
Totoo. Piling ko nga parang mas maganda sana kung may education system reform. Pagdating sa sa high school.
I feel
parang feeling ko elementary is maganda na yung foundation. Pero
I
yung
feel
high
like
school,
later we'll discuss someone na may platform sa education.
totoo.
Yeah.
Sana talaga
She was actually commended in the recent debates that she noticed something that teachers shouldn't be handling more administrative work than teaching.
Totoo.
Imagine having brains like that. No, I wish someone we discussed in this episode would think of that.
Ako as someone coming from public national high school ng junior high, feeling ko kasi hindi talaga parang sapat yung 6 to 12 so 6 hours para sa lahat ng subject for 50 minutes lang kada subject. Tapos minsan nahahati pa yun. Parang kakapasok ko ng teacher niyo, lalabas na kaagad. Hindi nagiging efficient, hindi naging productive yung bawat subjects namin. Talaga. Kaya nung nag-senior high ako sa private, from 7 to 5 yun. As in, bawat subject, bawat topic talaga is natuturo sa amin ng maayos. So sana hindi na talaga shifting yung public national high school. Nang sa ganun whole day na sana. Parang sa ganun, ma-observe talaga ng mga bata yung lessons. So ayun, baka gusto mong itagdag to sa platform.
Take notes.
Take notes. Wow, kala mo naman talaga, huy! As someone na may primary experience, ha?
Okay, let's proceed na and let's make this the last. Same-sex marriage and LGBTQ plus rights. In 2016, he expressed support for the same-sex marriage. He said it's time for Filipinos to recognize the union of homosexual couples. He added that people should be treated equally whoever you are. Okay.
Sana hindi lang siya. Talk talaga. Sana man lang kasi nagkaroon siya ng engagement. Talaga.
Gusto ko malaman if
socially.
If yung may engagement pa siya and if he has any background to support this claim. I mean, it's very easy to say that.
Yes.
Our community has been tokenized for several times para lang mapanalo ang isang candidate. And I mean, it's good na he thinks that way noong 2016, but once elected, God forbid,
Parang feeling
Anong
ko,
gagawin? Ano nang stand niya ngayon?
parang feeling ko, sinasabi lang yung mga bagay na, alam mo, parang pabor talaga sa mga tao. Pero pag wala sa opposition, ano ba yung ginagawa? Di ba?
At
May
saka,
social
I
engagement
wish
ba?
he had more plans about it.
Yes. Sana ganun. Parang kumbaga social engagement sa communities talaga. Para malaman na sincere ka talaga sa mga sinasabi.
Or he could have. Baka hindi ko lang nabasa since
Totoo.
I spend less time about it.
Okay. Tapos na tayo kay Marcos Jr. And now, let's proceed with Leni.
Kay Leni tayo.
Leni Robredo.
Ang hirap naman mag-ano. Bakit kasi may clingy yung gano'n? Nakakainis naman.
Hindi ko tuloy magamit yung gano'n.
Okay.
Guys, si Moti pa rin nagsasalita.
For college, University of the Philippines din naman noong 1982 to 1986 PS Economics. Wow. Ang hirap makapasok sa UP. Sa postgraduate naman, University of Nueva Ecija noong 1986 to 1992, Bachelor of Laws, passed the bar in 1997. San Beda University, Menjola, Master of Laws. And pagdating naman sa honorary degrees, Doctor of Public Administration sa Polytechnic University of the Philippines, conferred in 2015. Doctor of Humanities, University of St. Anthony in Naga, conferred in 2017. Doctor of Laws, University of Cordilleras in Baguio City, conferred in 2017. Wow. Ang hilig niya mag-aral kung saan saang lugar.
Hindi, at saka conferred siya. Ibig sabihin, these institutions recognized her works. Tapos, so they just gave it to her kasi she's worthy of it.
Ang daming institution na naka-recognize sa kanya. Appreciate talaga sa hard work na.
And it can be seen pa rin naman, even at this point na we're in the mid of the election season, di ba?
And net worth, 11 million as of 2020. So, ang base sa, sa documentary or vlogs na napanood ko, yung 11 million is mostly coming from namanay na. Kung bakit may mga ganun siyang malaking pera.
See,
Though malaki itong pera kung ikukumpara sa mga normal families. Pero for politician or public servant, parang maliit to kung ikukumpara sa mga ibang presidential candidate na umaabot ng 100 plus, 50 million plus na Siya ngayon may pinakamaliit. Ay, hindi pala, si Caliotti pala. Pangalawa siya.
oh yeah, kasi si Isko around 70, right? 70 million.
History in politics.
Okay, so history in politics, she was a representative of the 3rd District of Camarines Sur in 2013. She was also on the Committee on Good Governance and Public Accountability, Committee on Revisions of Laws, Committee of Appropriations, Legal Recovery and Economic Development, Climate Changes, Human Rights, Land Use, and Local Government. So I think those are some of the things she overlooked during that time. And legislative record, she authored and co-authored during the 16th Congress during 2013 to 2016 a total of 19 bills.
Yeah.
Ayun.
At dami-dami na rin.
And and it's legit.
Yeah.
Hindi hindi gawa-gawa.
Hindi siya fake news.
Yeah. And major legislations include Philippine National Railways Charter Extension, Sangguniang ng Kabataan Reform Act of 2015, Tax Incentives Management and Transparency Act, and the Open High School System Act, Graphic Health Warnings Law, decriminalizing premature marriage. Oh my God, that's so nice. Strengthening the probation system, and the Election Service Reform Act.
Kung papansinin mo, yung mga bills na something talaga na, as in, talaga, maganda,
Relevant.
oo, relevant,
Yeah.
importante,
May naman.
oo, hindi lang yung parang National Bible Day.
Oh my God, Shane!
Ano yun? Hindi dapat ganun. As in talagang, yung open high school system for students na either nagkaroon ng anak, nagtatrabaho, or late na nag-aral, magandang opportunity yon para matapos nila yung high school nila. As we all know, in Philippines, mataas talaga ang standards para makakuha ng trabaho. Kahit sabihin mo, hindi bachelor's degree. Yung
emphasizes how crucial education is in the system of the Philippines, no? Kasi yun nga, sabi mo ang taas ng standard to get a job, pero hindi mataas yung standard when it comes to implementing the educational system. And hindi din mataas yung standards ng iba when it comes to choosing a presidential candidate na boboto nila for this election.
Kasi ito, isa pang gusto ko sa kanya is yung full disclosure bill.
Yeah, yan yung sinabi niya na first day of office, if ever elected, gagawin niya raw agad yung doon. Or parang ipapa-enact, I think.
If ever talaga na pag natupad, sorry na lang talaga sa ibang politician. Manginig na kayo.
And I hope it gets implemented properly.
Totoo.
Kasi sayang yung law if it doesn't get its full potential.
Feeling ko maganda naman kasi meticulosa siya.
Sana.
Totoo. So
I mean meticulosa, pero sana nga na yung mga nasa ilalim niya rin ay katulad niya.
Okay. During yung Vice President 2016 to 2022, isa sa mga projects niya is yung Angat Buhay program na alam naman natin na maraming natulungan na hindi lang sa NCR kundi sa mga malalayong liblib na lugar. Dormitories to healthcare workers during the pandemic, which is relevant sa mga healthcare workers kasi nga para hindi mawakan yung mga pamilya nila. Swab ka project na alam naman natin nung lockdown, wala talagang masyadong supervise.
Yes.
Vaccine Express, Community Assistance Program, locally funded projects, and livelihood and training programs. Ewan ko, yung
And she's always, present in the right moments. Like Bongbong. Calamity brought by typhoon.
Yung sense of urgency.
You would see her agad, makita mo agad sa news na nandun na agad siya. And I like that.
Recently lang, yung sa Taal, diba?
Ay, oo nga.
While having
An interview with Maria Leonor.
Tapos meron pa siya isang ginawa, pero may kinokontak na siya sa isang community na
parang pre-aid something like that.
Sense of urgency talaga dapat ganun. Yung tawag na lang proactive.
Tama.
Diba?
That's what we need. I think that's...
Hindi lang reactive, proactive.
I think that's what we're missing this whole episode. Like, we didn't see anyone that's proactive.
Totoo.
Not as proactive as her, at least. She thinks one step ahead of everyone.
Totoo. Pagdating naman sa achievements niya, Thailand Government Honorary Outstanding Woman Award ng 2016. Filipino Women's Network Most Influential Filipina Women of the World Award on 2016. People's Asia Magazine People of the Year awardee on 2021. Commission of Audit and Qualified Opinion for the Office of the Vice President from 2019 to 2021.
Speechless, oh my God.
Yung 3 years, yung sa COA niya, 3 years siya
She bagged everything.
Totoo. As in, makikita mo talaga na, ewan ko, bakit may mga tao nilirakan si VP Leni na kung saan, lahat naman ang ginawa niya is for the, para makakabuti sa mga mamamayan.
Yun nga eh. So parang, sometimes it's kind of very serious to think that these people are also part of these people are also victims of disinformation. Yet, alam mo yun, parang they don't have, at least at this moment, I'm not closing off any possibilities to fact check or to verify information that they receive. So parang knee-jerk reaction na lang talaga na parang, okay, so pag sabing ganyan si Leni, parang bash agad. Like, hindi man lang na oversee, or hindi man lang nakikita na she got these awards for a reason.
Totoo. Ewan ko lang sa mga college student, pati mga senior high school graduate na may research naman, pero bakit hindi ginagamit? Tingin ko doon ang field of education system. Charils! Hindi tayo magkaganon.
For today's video.
Okay, for the stand on controversial issues. Controversial issues, rather.
Okay, so I think we all know her stand on the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's move forward. Okay, go.
Drug war campaign.
Yeah, go.
Shift the drug war policy from enforcement to rehabilitation.
Tama.
Appoint the Dangerous Drug Board, or DDB, head to lead the Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs, or ICAD, to carry out a more holistic approach in eradicating the drug menace. Resolve extrajudicial killing, carry out recommendations he suggested during her 18 days stint as ICAD chair. Unfortunately, natanggal siya.
I think it's fine.
Political na din yung pagtanggal sa kanya. Kasi nga hindi nga nag-compromise ang dalawang partido para magkaroon ng humanitarian approach siya.
And I like na na at least hindi lang siya sa presidential candidates na discuss natin in this episode, yung nagpo-perceive na drug is not just a legal crime, it's also a health crime, and that rehabilitation should also be improved or accelerated in the war against drugs. Or should we call it war? Kasi parang hindi naman siya war, what if ang kalaban mo ay mga tao lang din na biktima ng drugs.
Totoo. Feeling ko lang, hindi siya
Problem na lang, like ganun.
war against poor.
It's anti-poor na parang papatay ka lang ng papatay.
Totoo. Hindi talaga magiging resulta yung
Yeah,
kamatayan.
Tama, it's very band-aid.
Namatay nga sila, pero up until now, nasabi na 6 months lang tapos na ang drugs, pero hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin tapos.
Tama.
Diba? So, the next one is same-sex marriage and LGBTQIA rights. Support same-sex union, saying she is always open about freedom of choice. In June 2021, she said that our society must not discriminate and persecute anyone, but rather embrace and welcome each other no matter their gender.
Yeah. Generic na people na sabihin ng isang politician na let's not discriminate and persecute anyone. But what I like about her is she's openly favoring the sosyo-equality bill. And she said that if she is elected in the office, the bill would really count the provision.
As far as sa ata siya sa author,
No. One version before, no
Okay.
term niya.
pero at least meron siyang
Kasi diba,
version, pero mas
anti-discrimination order. Tapos kasi diba SEP has been through a lot for the past 22 years.
22 years na.
Yeah. And isa siya sa mga parang
Okay, pagdating naman sa divorce, doesn't support divorce at this point. Pass a martial infidelity law to treat adultery and concubinage equally. So, based kasi sa napapanood ko sa kanya, parang gusto niya muna kasi ayusin yung annulment na na bill or laws or any para daw if ever na hindi talaga maayos yun, then it will resort to divorce. Kasi nga, parang yung annulment nga is mostly for mayayaman lang daw, kaya parang nagkasag ganoon, parang may mali talaga sa sistema.
tama.
Kaya yung mga mahihirap na nagsasuffer sa relationship nila, sa abusive relationship, nag-iwalay na lang talaga na kung saan napektuhan yung mga bata.
True, and one thing, kasi parang diba sa recent debates, she wasn't really open for divorce. And what I like about, it's not really like, I don't think the word is, the right word to use is like, but what is good about her is she's willing to listen. Even yung anak niya, na, I think 2 of her daughters favor divorce, even abortion. And they discuss about it. Tapos parang, what's good daw is she's always listening. She's always listening. And that's what's important for our leader. She listens and she's welcome for this course.
Ito pa yung pass ni marital infidelity law to treat adultery and concubinage equally. So dito talaga is wala siyang pinapanigan na gender. Kasi yung adultery and concubinage is mali talaga kung i-base natin sa mga batas natin. Lalo na kung kasal talaga yung dalawang tao.
Tama.
Okay. Pagdating naman sa Marcos martial law, yung controversies calls on Filipinos to always be reminded of the atrocities that occurred during martial law amid a wave of misinformation and historical revisionism. Kasi ito history na to eh. So hindi mo na talaga ito mababago. Alis na lang talaga pag minanalong isang emirate.
Alam mo, let's not sugarcoat unless manalo yung family mo.
Oo.
Alam mo, napanood mo ba yung
Pero kung bakit parang galit na galit yung ibang tao? Eh, history na to. Napatunayan.
Napanood mo ba yung recent video ni asawa ni Marcos Jr?
Yeah.
Like, she was like, I'm so New York. Like, girl, what does that even mean?
Sa New York, hindi ka makapunta sa New York kasama.
Kaya nga, you're convicted. Hindi ka makakapunta sa New York.
Uy!
So it's never going to be your way. So it's the highway for you.
Mayaman talaga sila. Kaya hindi mo talaga masasabing,
Makaano siya nung the government cannot afford me when tatakbo nga sa government position yung asawa niya.
yeah.
Sis, are you in your right mind? Like, super cringy na babae. Okay, whatever.
Okay, at doon na nagtatapos yung
Okay, so, okay, that's the
topic natin
six.
for Leni.
Yeah. And
That's
this
it.
episode. Okay guys, before we say our final words, take note that some of these information are still not. Some of the things we discussed are not the entirety of the candidates' platforms and stands on controversial issues. We just went over the crucial things that needed to be discussed, like the anti-drug war campaign and the social equality bill, of course, the LGBTQIA+ plans of the candidate, and stands on other things like economic reform, COVID-19 platforms, and the likes.
Okay, ano yung masasabi mo sa dalawang to? Since marami nang tayo nabigay ng information about them.
My stand on Marcos doesn't change. His father committed a lot of atrocities.
Yes.
Kahit sabihin pa nilang they were not the ones who personally did that, but it happened under their jurisdiction. It happened under their administration. And people who say na bata pa si Marcos during the time of the martial law, no. I think he was already studying nung time na yun, and may photos pa nga na ang tanda na ng itsura niya.
And in my opinion, to Ferdinand Marcos, no, ngayon na tumatakbo siya ng presidente, sana man nung ibigay niya talaga yung concrete platforms, hindi yung unity. Kasi for the past decades talaga, marami na nagsabi niyan, unity,
And I
pero wala
wouldn't
talaga
vote for
nangyari.
someone whose family put the Philippines to an endless debt. Like, Diyos ko, hanggang ngayon, imagine mo ilang years na since his father's administration, we're still paying things.
Tapos pagdating sa lifestyle, no, katulad yung sinabi ko kanina, feeling ko kasi parang wala siyang pinagpaguran, parang binibigay na ng lahat sa kanya.
Kita mo naman
So,
sa
How
sa,
can someone,
sa attitude ng asawa niya.
di ba, how can someone na pagsilbihan ng mga mamamayan kung hindi naman nga talaga pinaghirapan ng isang bagay na kung saan punong-puno naman siya ng resources in the first place.
Yeah.
Marami siyang resources bago niya natapos yung education niya. Di ba? Yung mga ganung bagay pa lang eh. Samantala nga tayo mga mahihirap nagkukumahog para lang makapagtapos para kahit pa paano umangat ang buhay.
Kaya nga niya, mga asawa niya, they're so New York.
Okay, pagdating naman kay VP Leni.
For whatever that means, by the way. Pero kay Leni, yeah, she's great. I mean, she has flaws.
Siya has lost talaga.
Hindi naman maalis yan. But what's good is, I think sa lahat among the candidates, siya lang yung parang nag-emphasize na she's willing to listen. Siguro si Manny rin, I think, and si Isko. Pero not to the point na parang even on controversial topics like abortion, divorce, na parang she willingly told us na parang, okay, I'm going to listen. I mean, hindi sa mga debates, but at least my presence siya sa social media, sa Twitter, sa Facebook. I mean, she personally, I think she has, she personally handles it. Or, sometimes she personally handles it. But yeah, that's one good thing about a leader. And at this point, the Filipino masses, a vast majority of the Filipino masses want her to be the president. And who am I? Middle class student na not yet out there that also experiences the troubles of the very neoliberal education to oppose the call of the masses to make her the president, diba?
So, sa akin naman, in my opinion kay VP Leni, wala talaga maging perfect na president ever. Pero kasi, ang kakaharapin natin in the future is yung post-pandemic economic crisis.
Tama.
Tapos lalo na yung mga mahirap ngayon, lalo naghihirap. Kailangan natin ng leader na kung saan meticuloso, alam na kung paano implement yung mga projects niya.
And she's very urgent.
Oo. Paano niya na-reach yung mga nasa malalayong lugar talaga. Kahit sabihin mong kakaunti lang yan, pero yung kakaunti na yun, kung yung isang buhay ng pamilya is naangat,
Tama.
diba, isang magandang parang effect yun sa society.
Mm-hmm.
And I think yun yung parang, yung maganda sa kanya, nakaka-inspire siya ng ibang tao. Diba?
Very true.
Yun yung that's one of the reasons bakit gusto ko siya.
Tama.
And as bilang babae, hindi lang siya babae.
Babae siya.
Babae siya.
Tama. I love that.
Ayan, tapos tayo. So muli, ako nga po pala si PLM Makarubo, ang nagsasabing buksan ng ating isipan, paganahin ng ating kaalaman sa pamamagitan ng pananaliksik sa katotohanan.
Hey, it's your boy JP and this is
Magwari, the PLM Propaganda Podcast.
Kay Leni tayo.
Leni, kay Leni.
Kay Leni tayo.